for bridge. Come no.
No problem.
In a book game no near.
No problem.
I'm on this 3 points in film hall.
No problem.
We also sample PSG.
No problem.
On one chance for not sending message yet. Fiifi-Manfred baby or can is them differ. Chance to we.
Any problem.
Minty way.
Don't pay your almost have a can.
That's it.
A bonfire the mouth. Rich. I'm a room buying. Me, the mention son of a I'm a room buying. Why, a lot of unwanted record our Manchester United. But Rich, I think that a bit more while you can forgive. But when you read this, Rich, Manchester United lost to a fourth-tier side in the EFL Cup for the first time in their history.
I didn't see that. So why now? Fourth tier.
And no, me game no. Me uni, but I was frozen in my seat, and I was asking myself, say, "Tim, ni gunu ni enter for Frana." Because Rich, what is happening to Manchester United? Yes, we have done analysis, but Rich, some of these doesn't even make sense. And you who the kind of context in a perspective, on find shame to explain it. Now, Rich, a team to say Manchester United have gone 29 games and counting. Omunya back-to-back wins. How? 29 games. Manchester and Shea and Sanchez to us say when you're back-to-back wins. Now, Osha no game in Libya. Team no ever seen ne omudi going to mean coming.
You're from say Greensby said dear man dear me. Then game is me because Greensby dear see show. So one a million notification say quick
one.
You be cook for no. Say moon ya say. And I'm so no I'm going game no.
Make sure game and say go flash it too. You watch the goals and you can purely blame the players.
Yeah.
Especially Onana. Second goal.
Yeah.
Now, let me stay with the goals now. Because I'm already can't be. In one of the post-match interviews, and I present an episode and say, Onana saw another more, or say, no Onana problem. Say, only 40th team ever. Your keeper shouldn't even be exposed. And I agree with him.
Sure. Your keeper no good as the defenders.
Yes. Any can say about the goalkeeper. Rich, we've watched games in Copa del Rey, Carabao, big team, any 40 Biba. You hear the commentator say the goalkeeper for the big team is on a holiday. So for Manchester United to play a 4-tier team, now who is Johnny Kwakobisa coach say Mukipa Nasano. I'm already say sa question na Ubisa Nimpori. It doesn't make sense to him because under normal circumstances the goalkeeper shouldn't even be seen our football cameras in him. Then United had to crawl back in Buemo, Harry Maguire. Rich penalties. Ya ba mo bi ha body dey wie na ya sa back. Then a 40th team managed to have their composure. After say obi abobi no ma sa back ese. Then him mo bobo no dey akobo ba no.
A year film.
And look, movie game no. That is where my concern is. I think the players spoke really loudly about what they want today. That is the coach throwing the players under the bus. Something has to change. And you are not going to change 22 players again. It's hard to face everything. We move to the next game, then we have time to decide things. Amorin on the IT before he didn't go on. And see the famous interview now on social media, no, there was Amorin talking to IT before. Now, Rich, if a coach after that abysmal performance, the first words and they say players no ekasano I know a ding with a performance no give you what is he trying to say? Especially when he goes on to say but ultimately change 22 players. I would team him.
When you 22 players in Coca.
Me problem they say a day in Manchester United and society. Still now we are not seeing change. They've been changing coaches. Yeah. They've been transferring players. They've been buying players. They are doing. There will be a year in normal football to react to a situation. They've done all of that. Yesterday, Premier League this season, Man U win a match. Then their third game of the season, EFL to a fourth year, Man U out. Maybe in the long term, sad defeat could be a blessing in disguise. Because, Rich, me say, for Man U to have any dream of starting to be qualified to the Champions League, you know, I also reducing the number of games of the body competitions. Then the concentration about main ones, you know. And to probably EFL, no, could be a blessing in disguise. But we will supercat us ayala. Team sebi I work crisis mu say no. EFL so na ultimate winning. No one your trophy be to bring some lights in that inside that room on them. What is really happening to Manchester United?
Our next game here, Bob Burnley. Another low block team. And we a team now. You said any ball carry up Pia. Intimate tormenting your opponent. Game now, a bonaze. You jina park and soon you able to be keke. And then so we defense now very, very vulnerable. And conform to at a point, no more defend it because now the match 2. The NCT back now.
Of course,
yes, no more can't be. And anytime beyond Bajubo Biano, which means a defense, no, bassa. Very vulnerable. And the man go you.
My you is.
And the man go you. And no, I'm down. My general was asked, what is the problem? Yes, it's toxic environment. Toxic, you are coach, you are solve what's our problem. You have 2 players amount. They beam, yenya beam. You be result.
What do you say? A Tommy Junior, ma, only my dear baby team rich. It was so wild. Me catch him, say, me who answer Maka. I say, Anna, my young bu Brazil FNO and some no Mumfa and Chilotin bra. Maybe man you need a figure like that. Call ye patapasem ne French lot in a catches massa. Baby doing the Elisa Oba. Probably my Manchester and yet Ten Hag mo. They need Ebi Obisa. That was how wild my thinking got to. Maybe imagine you could do it. Now you see, and Kobbie Mainoo so in your boy. And he was part of the team that lost. Yadika Bedin Como said, Abrantiano, let's say playing time into a person who analyze the situation. Until the end, they became there. Can I just mention them? Then we near Koyenim. Rich, the latest on Kobbie, and they say, Kobbie Abusian for say they are disappointed in Amorim for going out to say, Abrantiano must fight for the position. Now, only Bruno and a pre-position. Until the obey will train the betcher say whether also boy ahead of Bruno and as a man. Rich, and can a normal circumstances, say coach say pre-position. Now, what you mean, say, oh, now what's over bar? A second year bad statement. But Kobbie Abusian for say, oh, a young player, bit say Kobbie will team more. Do you hear a guidance? any counseling, any because still a crowd what it's in. A crabisano, you don't go public and say, Masa, Shasona training ye, ne fight for position. The moment you speak to a young guy like that, it just said one Gasakrano, you don't even value him that much. And for them, and some of us can say, look, coach, be anyone or player or young. Now, future on him, now I say a simple case of just fight for your position.
A player that was but 3 Lions.
Yes.
England team will be.
And he is one of the future of Manchester United. What at the end they prevent you to go and say, look, the guy has a long future with us. He is very much part of my plans. Me what the match shamano onya botrem fa mame. Na only nyina yen kambom ne yenko. Oh, like there are some way you can say things for someone to feel important even though you are not using player now. And that is what Kobbie Mainoo are telling the Athletics here. Say, look, you don't just tell a young guy, simply go fight for your position at our training grounds. In Tianura, and you remember 738. And those trusted sources in Italy, I say, Napoli, I a call to Manchester United. Say, what the Kobbie situation, it's here. Nti ne situation it is saying at say some tono so be ba on physical say nembra so Napoli has started say inquiry and Rich I am happy for sad news because it seems as washa Antonio Conte say okotim bia na owini league ni wia ade ba ko e manita Johnny free team nim I say ogidi say the more more tournament no the more you have to give him squad depth and normal ekoye e dia mano now Rich unim. Why will Kobbie Mainoo leave Manchester United and say me joining Napoli? Because in Pempri, so when Napoli team nima in their midfield, untimin to Nguisa, untimin to the best player in the Italian Serie A last season in McTominay, and now they have a new number 10 in Kevin De Bruyne. And to come Fiifi was so CEO, but Kobbie Mainoo himself so he will not be treated simply say go fight for your position. But you'll be giving the guidance and probably you may share playing time there, man. No, so it's media developing. Rich, that is the latest on our brand here. Your friend Kobbie Mainoo. Look, you see Chelsea prefer me Lopez, you know. When you say news, they start saying, I thought that in my experience as a sports journalist, no, it was one of those news, you know, a back in the system when club will be a player. Now I said. In common Staley. Now, a person or Henya in common, then he come from another angle. Say, and common animal, this a moon fee, I come before flow. And I just so Chelsea pet Xavi Simons. But as a channel, that transfer, no, yet you come 2 weeks, can you can't say, you want to be a money Abeka. So I thought Chelsea wanted to move in with Femi Lopez. Say, Xavi Simons, I can't know what's Charlie, man, familiar. But Rich, the moment the Spanish media puts Femi Lopez on the front page of Mundo, now a mobile story about him there, then it means and not just an instigation, any rumor. It is something that is being discussed at the Spanish media level. Now, what is Mundo saying? Mundo says Barca's stance is simple. There are only 2 things Ebema Barcelona aton Femi Lopez and the Chelsea. Only 2. Number 1, player na kasa mekanche Barcelona say me pesa me go. Number 2, Chelsea must pay 70 million.
Take it or leave it.
Simple.
I'm kasa mo tono.
Yen kasi eto.
Mo na mo se mo pay.
Enti o wana player no be bode ko office mu kokoko. Yes, come in. Oh, for me now pay there wa ha. Boss, me pesa me go Chelsea. Okay, and the Chelsea for more offer, offer na year penal. We want the offer to be 70 million. So much me somebody or more able to me atono and the more tia. L'Equipe Edna Noato reports in Italy. And I'm referring L'Equipe because Nkuku is French. And when the French also says indeed it is happening, then it is happening. Rich, team a friend AC Milan has lost midfielders. Omalusu midfielders pa. they lost the best midfielder in the Italian Serie A, Tijani Renders, to Manchester City. And they've lost João Felix. They toss a game fat, but I'm fat. And it's Unya Renders and João Felix every team Mukwa. Rich, you need to beef up with team in the midfield, no. And then TIA said they've agreed. And next Thursday they will improve the new paperwork, no. Not what team about agreement and say 37 million plus add-ons. About your friend in Kuku, I set to join team. Your friend AC Milan. Now, Rich, say in Kuku joining AC Milan, something interesting will be happening. Obejedi say in Kuku free RB Leipzig. And Leipzig cover Xavi Simons ever said a 9 as RB Leipzig number 10. Now in Kuku free Chelsea. And NCIA yana say and now no power. RB Leipzig co training Xavi Simons in you. We are for playing about London.
I see.
Say Massa. And me catch you, say me.
But there's what I be share Tottenham for so.
Yes, it's something we are for playing about London.
Okay.
Suddenly I want a chance, I want a Tottenham war. And see now, I bet you probably may think, say, look, so me try Germany war. This thing is going to be a long story. And transfer in the corner aircon here. Rich, so our coach Chelsea there. Then it means it's a merry-go-round. In Kuku left, he came in Kuku left Chelsea, then probably obey me Abemo Ewo. And I draw on the mini shaker. But China Baby mu analysis in
no problem. Information.
Kakra me work and say, Rich, me bompa so Yankupo be grant to be our wish at the Amano.
Na Chelsea Barcelona.
If that is the wish.
Yenya Chelsea PSG.
Rich, I want us to have an exciting
games.
Like Champions League season.
Okay.
Where where the games will be exciting, where the stories in the game will be exciting, Rich. Can you imagine another Paris Saint-Germain Chelsea game? Because Paris Saint-Germain and Chelsea, how Chelsea beat them. And you imagine if along the line there's an Inter Barcelona again. Oh, and I want that kind of stories, you know, those kind of games, you know, Barcelona, Chelsea. Now, oh, Fiifi-Manfred, your pen will be come on. It's Rich.
That's it.
You better and then you read. Mamma Mouse, I'm cold, be not. Yembre Fina, Yemedin Comona, Mouse. You know,
4:35 there.
Na, can create on.
I need who drawn baby you could see.
Rich. You be who drawn baby
nearby, near baby who come on.
You be who baby a cusina, my main cassa same way. Again to your pain. Last season, Champions League. Me jina de bia me analysis ana maka say mo meka mo ana me refer to winning Fiifi say you are not feeling the Champions League no. Ya boss season e. You see another season. Now Fiifi is part of feeling no. You are not part.
I mean, a Division 4 Grammy Division.
Rich BW D
Division 4 Grammy Division Champions League them doing one day.
DC F29 BWD8 DC F29 BWD8 E079A BWD8 E560C, then the last one BWD8 E9054. See, these are the Betway codes, you know, and the 4 nice Europa League games, nice Conference League games, and they are very, very nice combinations because games in those also no sorry because there are a lot of games. It's far now with me at the Iowa. So when you pick our tactical board, no so Oba may handle our X and I say Facebook and the baby or social media. You can pick them to me at the Iowa.
And the O2 PSG Chelsea again.